Star Wars is a series about wars in the stars. There's a Star Wars equivalent to almost anything. Garage mechanics, medieval knights, samurai, World War II, robot invasions, airplanes, warships, guns, cultures, the list goes on. But what is the main series about? Let's dive in. It starts with this society where every planet in the galaxy formed a republic. The people who keep peace and order are these guys called Jedi, who can use special powers called the Force, a mysterious energy that surrounds living things. Their main enemy are these guys called the Sith, who can also use the special powers, but instead of keeping peace, they decide to conspire to take over the galaxy. Although there hasn't been any presence of a Sith for like 5 centuries. Anyways, some planets thought the Galactic Republic was corrupt and wanted to separate from them. However, the Galactic Republic did not want that. Eventually that turned into a galactic civil war. The Republic sent some Jedi to go negotiate a conflict where the Separatists took a planet called Naboo hostage, thinking it would make Naboo help their cause. The Separatist leaders were scared after hearing that they were being visited by Jedi, and turned to some guy they called Sidious for support. He told the Separatists to kill the Jedi, and that he'd make it legal to do that later, somehow. They tried, but failed to kill the Jedi. They escaped the Separatist spaceship to the planet itself, and then convinced Naboo's queen to leave the planet for the Jedi HQ, so she wouldn't be captured. Their ship broke, and they landed on a random desert planet and met a kid named Anakin. They noticed he could use Jedi powers and decided to recruit him as a Jedi, before regrouping and going to stop the Separatists at Naboo. They got some native alien people to help fight off the Separatists, and then the two Jedi met this guy named Darth Maul, who killed one of them and then was defeated by the other. Darth Maul was the first Sith guy they've seen in like 500 years, so they knew for sure that something was wrong with these Separatist guys. 10 years later, the Separatists got much more popular. It turns out there were a lot of planets who didn't trust the Galactic Republic. It seemed like they were going to try fighting the Galactic Republic, so they needed some kind of military. The Queen of Naboo, Padme, keeps getting nearly assassinated, so the highest ranked person in the Galactic Republic, the Chancellor, decides to ask Anakin and Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Jedi from the last movie, to guard her. Anakin is older and is training to be a Jedi. The Jedi Council told him that he shouldn't get attached to anyone because that would be used against him. Obi-Wan went to find out who keeps trying to kill Padme, leaving the hormonal teenager Anakin alone on vacation with this lady. Anakin proceeded to fall in love with Padme. Obi-Wan's search for Padme's assassin led him to some remote water planet where a clone army was waiting for him. Apparently, a Jedi ordered a clone army 10 years ago. After that, he got attacked and then chased the guy who attacked him to a planet called Geonosis, where there's a huge factory of separatist robots. Meanwhile, Anakin went back to his home planet with Padme to find his mom, because his free time with Padme gave him a little rebellious phase. He finds that his mom was killed by native peoples, and murdered all of the aforementioned native peoples. A Jedi Master named Yoda could sense from the Jedi HQ that Anakin was doing something terrible. Then Anakin and Padme got a transmission from Obi-Wan, which sent itself to the Jedi HQ from there. But seeing as Obi-Wan was in trouble, they decided to go save him themselves. Because of that, all three of them ended up being captured on Geonosis, but they escaped with help from a convoy of Jedi. It seemed like the Jedi would be overwhelmed by the separatist robots, but then Yoda appeared with the clone army that Obi-Wan told them about, and saved Padme, Anakin, and Obi-Wan, as well as the Jedi that were left. One of the Jedi killed the guy that the clones were made from, in front of aforementioned guy's son. They made their escape, but crashed, and Anakin and Obi-Wan came face to face with another Sith called Count Dooku. Dooku almost killed them with a falling object, but Yoda stepped in and saved the day. Dooku ran away and regrouped with that one guy, Sidious. Obi-Wan and Yoda go back to the Jedi HQ because Dooku warned them that there was a Sith in the Galactic Republic. Anakin and Padme went back to Naboo and got married. 3 more years passed, and Anakin is mostly an adult. The Chancellor, whose name is Sheev, got captured by a 4-armed cyborg with lung problems from another planet. This cyborg is named General Grievous, and he is the leader of the Separatists at the moment. Anakin and Obi-Wan go save Sheev from the Separatists and encounter Count Dooku. Unlike last time, Anakin defeats Dooku, and Sheev instructs Anakin to kill him despite the fact that wasn't really necessary. The ship gets cut in half and General Grievous flees on an escape pod. Sheev, Obi-Wan, and Anakin crash land and then go back to Jedi HQ, where Padme tells Anakin that she's pregnant.
A few moments later.
Anakin has a nightmare about Padme dying after their kids are born, and tells her about it. Anakin pledges to himself not to let that happen. Then he's called by the Chancellor, who's allowed to control the Jedi Temple as an emergency protocol during this war. Sheev tells Anakin that the Jedi aren't showing him enough ways to become a better Jedi, and asks Anakin to join the Jedi Council for him. Anakin is excited to become a Jedi Master on the Council, but the others only let him on the Council without having the rank of Master. This made Anakin angry because he seems ready to move up in the ranks after rescuing the galaxy's current leader. Nonetheless, they have him accompany the Chancellor while Yoda goes to a planet that needs help fighting the Separatists. Chancellor Sheev goes to what's supposed to be an opera house along with Anakin, and they talk about current affairs. Sheev says that he thinks Anakin should confront General Grievous on the planet he's on. Sheev then says that the Jedi are similar to the Sith. They both give themselves control over the galaxy in order to progress their quest for power. Although Anakin points out that the Jedi use their power selflessly while the Sith use it selfishly. But then Sheev tells Anakin that he knows of a Sith Lord who found a way to revive other people. This interests Anakin because he's looking to keep Padme from dying when she has kids. Although the Jedi can't teach people how to revive others. Anakin asks the Jedi Council to let him take on General Grievous, but they deny it because they don't think he's powerful enough. They send Obi-Wan instead. Obi-Wan confronts General Grievous, and Grievous reveals that he in fact has 4 arms rather than 2, along with 4 lightsabers as opposed to the 1 lightsaber that Obi-Wan has. Nonetheless, General Grievous is defeated by Obi-Wan. Sheev finds Anakin again and starts another conversation with him. Anakin tells Sheev that he still thinks he should be helping stop General Grievous. Sheev agrees and starts talking about the Sith's powers again. Anakin gets suspicious and finally asks how Sheev knows all of this, and Sheev reveals that it's because he's actually Darth Sidious, the Sith that's been commanding all the other Sith during the other 2 movies and the 2008 TV show Star Wars: The Clone Wars. This is a rather eerie twist, as the Jedi thought that in the first movie they saw a Sith for the first time in 500 years, when in fact the Sith was secretly running the Galactic Republic this whole time. Anakin decides not to kill him, as he does not know who else knows to revive a person just in case Padme does die. However, he does tell one of the Jedi Council members that Sheev is a Sith Lord. They again do not let him help the other Jedi capture Sheev, and Anakin goes to wait somewhere else. The Jedi that Anakin informed about Sheev, named Mace Windu, takes 3 other Jedi with him to arrest Sheev. Sheev takes out his red Sith lightsaber and kills all the Jedi except for Mace Windu, who's able to stop him. Unfortunately, Anakin recalls that Sheev may very well be the only hope to save Padme's life, and rushes to try and save Sheev before Windu kills him for starting this entire galactic war and manipulating basically everyone in the observable universe. Anakin chooses Padme over the Jedi Order, and when Windu was ready to finally end Sheev, Anakin cuts Windu's hand off, allowing Sheev to push him out of the window of the building, falling to his death. Knowing that there's basically no going back with this decision, he decides to finally join the Sith. Sheev names himself Emperor Palpatine and names Anakin Darth Vader. Palpatine instructs Anakin to kill the Jedi and the Separatist leaders who are on Mustafar. Meanwhile, Palpatine sends a message to all the clone troopers telling them to execute Order 66, which is code for killing all the Jedi. The clones proceed to kill all the Jedi, and Anakin does too before going to Mustafar to kill the Separatist leaders after telling Padme about it. Obi-Wan and Yoda survived. After Anakin kills the Separatist leaders, Palpatine goes and tells the Senate that the Jedi tried to overthrow him, and that he'll reorganize the Galactic Republic into the Galactic Empire, to which the Senate approves of after hearing his remarks about what they did to him. Finally, Palpatine says that he will hunt down the Jedi for trying to overthrow him, which also had no objections. Palpatine, true to his word, made it legal. Obi-Wan tells Padme to go try and stop Anakin, and goes with her. Yoda goes to take down Darth Sidious. Anakin gets angry while talking with Padme because he saw that Obi-Wan was there with him. Anakin attacks Obi-Wan, but his arm and leg get cut off eventually. Obi-Wan decides to spare his life and leave to help Padme have her kids without injury. But after being choked by her husband who destroyed the galaxy's protectors, she didn't really have the willpower in her to keep enduring the surgery they gave her, and died after naming her kids. Their names were Luke and Leia, and were put on different planets to make sure they'd be safe from the up-and-coming Galactic Empire.